Hey everybody, how's it going? Aaron Rift here, along with good old JM, Jeff Meacham. We just finished watching WWE Payback 2015.
15, not 14, Cole.
What did you think of the show overall?
That was a good show. You know, I just watched last year's last night, and you know, I thought it was up to par with last year's show. I don't think it was the best show they did all year, but it was definitely better than average.
Yeah, overall I thought it was a really solid show. Lots of high quality wrestling.
Yeah.
Not too much to complain about. A few things, a few logic issues that I had personally with it.
Right.
But we'll talk about it here. Let's start off with the two pre-show matches. We actually got two this time. We had R-Truth versus... who did he face? No, I forgot already.
Isn't that awful?
I don't have it on my notes here.
Oh, Stardust.
Stardust, that's
Stardust. Yeah, and Stardust, Cody lost again.
Poor Stardust. I mean, at this point, his wife is a bigger star in WWE than he is.
You mentioned it on Twitter.
Yeah, I did.
The whole Rena, Mark Mero comparison.
Yeah, nothing match, just something they threw together for the pre-show.
Well, I guess they've been having a little program on like the B shows on Main Event and Superstars, those two guys. So that was building for something.
Yeah, and then we had the tag team match, LOD, aka the Ascension, against the Mega Powers or the Meta Powers or the Minor Powers. I don't even know what they're called. I guess they were the Mega Powers.
And they lost.
Yeah,
the Mega Powers lost.
This was so goofy.
It was horrid.
Whatever.
What a horrid match.
Yeah, there was really nothing to it. Just pure comic relief. And then we had the main card. Opened up with Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler, which I thought was a really good match.
Yeah, it wasn't all that bad. I found myself enjoying it more than I thought I would, and considering how off and on weak the build has been between these two guys, they actually delivered. And
Ziggler did get his revenge a little bit. He got Sheamus to kiss his arse, but in the end, Sheamus got the win, which I expected since he lost the Extreme Rules match.
It was a very heel-heavy show tonight, but we'll get more into that as we delve into it.
We had the 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team titles. The New Day against Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
Shenanigans afoot, but you know what? That's how heels should win. That's how heels should retain championships. Like they said on Twitter, you know, heels should win by cheating. Yeah, and they cheated.
Yeah, Cesaro and Kidd won the first fall fairly quickly, and then we had an extended match. Really good stuff as usual from these two teams, and then at the end you had Xavier coming in, and it was like the what is it? The Twin Magic angle?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Yeah,
what it seemed like.
Some people were annoyed with that, saying, of course, with black guys, you know, they cannot tell the difference.
Well, they all look alike, as we know.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's terrible.
But, I mean, he did duck his head in, so, I mean, the referee, you know, we can say, from a logical standpoint, the referee's tired. He probably wasn't paying very much attention.
It was very well done and very well executed, absolutely.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was fine with it. I thought it was a clever finish, and I like what they did post-match, the interview they did with the drinking the milk. Milkomania is running wild again in WWE.
So much so that it's being spit all over the place because they announced in the post-match interview there will be, as we knew about already earlier in the week on Twitter or whatever it was, there will be a tag team title elimination chamber match.
Yeah, do you know what Brazers is?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody stamped.
I saw.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. That was a hilarious segment. I love the New Day now. I know you're still iffy about it. Some people are iffy about it. I think they're a great heel act. I just think they're tremendous.
All right.
Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. I thought this match was a lot better than expected going in. I felt that Bray Wyatt and Ryback actually delivered. And Ryback... He took a pretty brutal senton from Bray Wyatt on the outside. He
did. I was just flabbergasted.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was a legitimate injury. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for updates. I'm sure if there's an update, we'll have it up on the website.
I'm sure if they know, we'll know, and if we'll know.
Yeah. And speaking, I wanted to mention from earlier too. Dolph Ziggler got busted open.
Yeah, the headbutt took out his whole freaking right side. It seemed like he needed
stitches for that. The
announcers, 10 stitches. I heard they said.
Yeah, the announcers just completely ignored the bleeding.
Well, they're supposed to, unfortunately, which is not good for you.
Yeah. But anyways, I also wanted to note that that in the match with Ryback, he actually did a frog splash. So.
Yeah,
that was quite impressive.
The big guy can fly, as the king said.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Bray Wyatt won as I expected. So yeah, good match. And moving on here, we had Rusev versus John Cena, almost 30 minutes in an I Quit match, complete with the referee, literally after every move. Do you want to quit? And
do you want to quit?
We had
do you want to quit?
We had barricades. We had tables. We had people being slammed in the pyro.
It was a fight. It was a war. It was everything that the final chapter of a feud should be.
Yeah, it was lots of stunts and crazy bumps, and then at the end, the finish, it was like the Royal Rumble 2007, similar with the ring ropes, and I guess Cena did it to Umaga a little bit different.
Yeah, except that in 2007, Cena used the actual turnbuckle corner piece to choke Umaga out. In this case, I guess because they can't anymore because it's PG, they used the ropes, and Lana ended up being the one to quit for Rusev.
Yeah, I guess what a few people told me on Twitter was that Rusev was screaming something like, "You'll have to kill me. I'll die before I quit." Something like that. And, Lana's real upset, so she quits for him. So yeah, very, very predictable. I mean, we all figured something like that would happen.
And of course, he dismissed Lana after, so we'll see where that goes tomorrow night and beyond.
Yeah, fairly predictable, but the execution was really good.
It was still very well done, yes.
And then we had the Divas match, as expected. Tamina and Naomi won.
Yeah, that match could have been a lot better than it was.
They were in a bad spot though, because they had to follow Cena and Rusev and a very solid show up to that point.
Seemed to, and maybe this is my diva-centric view. They always seem to put the Divas match right after the crowd-heavy match, where the crowd's just like, nah, I don't care.
Well,
whatever.
They're not really giving Divas a chance.
No, they're not, and that'll be addressed on Talk Wrestling later this week.
Yeah. And then you had King Barrett versus Neville, which I actually thought, if you take out the Divas match, was the worst match on the show, just because it wasn't nearly as good as their other matches. And then you had a really weak finish where Barrett just gets counted out, and then he comes back in the ring, they fight, and they go back and forth.
Neville ended up winning the match by count and then winning the day with the Red Arrow.
Yeah, so why didn't he just win the first place?
With the Red Arrow? Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, I didn't like this at all. Just felt to me like time filler and nothing else.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And then we had the main event, Fatal 4-Way, no DQ by the way, Fatal 4-Way, no DQ special with Kane and J&J out there. And basically it was a handicap match. It was Rollins, Kane, and J&J working together through the entire match pretty much against the other
We figure if it's Rollins and then J&J Security and Kane, there's 4 guys against 3, so it's only 4 on 3 really, so it's not that bad. It's still a handicap match, but not as bad.
Yeah. So yeah, this was somewhat of a train wreck. I mean, just we had moments where 2 guys were dead, and then there's just 2 guys in the ring, which I'm not really a big fan of that, because unless there's some like big spot where the other guys get knocked out and there's a good reason for it, but like for the longest time, Roman Reigns was gone. I didn't even know what happened.
Roman was gone for a good part of it. Orton was gone for a good part of it. Ambrose was in and out, and so it just seemed like. That's why I'm not a fan of triple threats and fatal 4-ways and 6-pack challenges and scramble matches, because they're all a big cluster.
Yeah.
And you don't know what to expect, and a lot of it is not good.
Yeah, but it did pick up at the point where the Shield, for a brief moment in time, did get together.
They did.
And I predicted something like this. Even if they wouldn't get back together as a group, they'd still do the big spot and take advantage of that opportunity to triple powerbomb Orton, and then Rollins was all happy. He thought the Shield was back together, and then bam, the 2 of them, Ambrose and Roman Reigns turn on him, and Ambrose and Reigns actually have a really good exchange in the ring, and then Kane gets back involved again, and Kane clearly was trying to help Rollins as much as possible, so there was no tease of Kane going off on his own. He was...
No, it was made clear earlier than we expected that Kane would be with the Authority.
Yeah, which I actually thought was good for the match. I actually liked that better than
I did too.
Them teasing that Kane was going to turn on. Then, of course, Swerve, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, no.
So at least they made it clear throughout the whole match Kane was on Rollins' side.
Right.
And then Rollins does end up winning with the pedigree of
Pedigree, not the curb stomp, because he can't do the curb stomp anymore.
I'm wondering if Triple H is going to let him use that as a finisher. If Triple H's career is winding down, maybe he's going to give that move to Rollins.
Well, Triple H's career was winding down 3 years ago.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Since he can't do the curb stomp anymore, maybe Triple H will give him that move, and that'll be Rollins' new finisher. I like it better than the other move he was using.
What was he even using?
I don't even. It was like a variation of the Dirty Deeds. I think it was like the other way. Like he drives him forward with the DDT instead of the other way. I don't even.
Oh, it was weird.
It was so bad I don't even remember it. But anyways, I like the idea of the pedigree better as a finisher for Rollins, especially if he's going to be champion for a while. I'm guessing until SummerSlam now.
You would think so.
With Lesnar coming back.
Well, we'll see what happens in the Chamber.
Yeah.
Or at Chamber, because it won't be in the Chamber, but at Chamber.
Yeah. So Yeah, overall, and there's some logic issues with this match just because of the no DQ rule. Like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, if it's no DQ, why doesn't Kane just stay in the ring? He, like, comes in the ring, chokeslams Rollins, and then leaves and just goes back to the outside. Wouldn't he just stay in the ring?
Not Rollins, chokeslam one of the other guys.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or
whoever it was.
Or Reigns, or Ambrose.
Whoever it was. But yeah, why not stay in the ring? If you can't get disqualified, you can't get your guy disqualified, just stay in the ring and help him.
Yeah, so that's the only issue I had. But, I mean, overall, I thought it was entertaining. And overall, I thought the pay-per-view was very good from start to finish.
Right.
Another solid 3 hours or almost 4 hours of WWE entertainment.
If you got the pre-show, yeah.
For just $9.99. So that'll do it for our review of Payback. And we got Elimination Chamber coming up in 2 weeks now. IC title on the line in the chamber.
See, I came back at the wrong time because now I'm going to be working all the time. Now I'll be over here more at my own house because we got stuff. We got Talk Wrestlings. We've got your weights coming back. We got all kinds of stuff going on, and I'll be here for predictions and reviews every week. It feels like.
Yeah. So 2 weeks from now we got Elimination Chamber. Then 2 weeks after that we have Money in the Bank.
Yeah. And then you know, in between, we're not gonna talk about this, but we have NXT this week. The Takeover show is this week on Wednesday, so that should be. They're always entertaining to watch. You've got the up and comers of WWE. You've got Kevin Owens, who we've followed for many years, against Sami Zayn, who we've followed for many years, trying to rematch for the championship. You've got Becky Lynch challenging Sasha Banks. That's gonna be a solid women's championship match, and so much more.
Alabama. So anyways, we got a lot going on this week. We got TakeOver, we got Elimination Chamber. Lots of content coming up on the No DQ channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. YouTube.com/NoDQCAW.
All for the low price of absolutely nothing.
And hopefully this video will not get pulled from YouTube for a copyright claim.
What got pulled?
My Extreme Rules review video got pulled.
Oh, that's right, it did.
But it got reinstated about 2 weeks later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so clearly it's just the two of us here, no copyrighted footage. There is the Simpsons Bret Hart here.
We got our own stuff on.
I don't think we'll get in trouble for that. But that wraps it up for our review. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest. We'll see you this week for more videos. Thanks for watching.